Hello, everybody. Oh, I don't have my microphone out. Can you hear me?
Oh,
Did I all of a sudden become big?
very booming. Yes.
All right, well, I'll try to keep my voice down then. Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining us. I have to apologize. I don't have a StreamYard moderator with me tonight. So it's just me looking at the chat, and you know how terrible I am at it. I'm really, really bad. So let me just take a look really first. So we have, well, of course, Allie, who's here, and we have Ness and McGrill, and I think that's all we have right now. Allie, thank you for joining me tonight.
Oh, absolutely. I'm thrilled to be asked. Thank you, Colleen. I always love working with you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I
Thank
and
you.
I have missed you. We haven't been together in quite some time, so I'm really happy. I think it was back like either the
Christmas.
holiday shows
Yeah.
or yeah, Christmas time,
Yeah.
right?
I
Okay,
think so.
so too
Yeah.
long,
Yeah.
too long.
Uh-huh.
All right, so
Yeah.
we have some more people, and just everybody just imagine that I'm saying, oh hi to all of you because I can't multitask when I'm on StreamYard. I'm pretty bad. Anyway,
Mm.
so tonight, what we're going to talk about is bringing the balance into politics. So we're going to
Mhm.
focus on what would the world be like? What would our country specifically be like if the politicians were nice and focused and they
Yeah.
used their intelligence for what they should be using it for? I mean, can
Mhm.
you imagine if Jim Jordan, I mean, I don't know how much intelligence that guy has, but can you
A little bit.
imagine if he was using his
Yeah.
intelligence in a positive direction?
Correct. I
I
know.
mean,
What
could
a
we
world it would be.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, it would just
Uh-huh.
be it's a wonderful life every day, right? It would be
Yes.
great.
It
Or,
would be.
and what about people like, uh, Jim Comer? Can you imagine if he wasn't just a whiny little bee every time he opened his mouth? I
Yeah, yeah, it would be well, it's very interesting that all the guys, pretty much, and they all are guys from Kentucky, tend to be much the same, the way they do things. Wouldn't it be nice if they became more kind and loving and, and very generous? It really would be. Yeah.
I'm not
Mhm.
so freaked out about the fact that we have vaginas and they don't. Like, can they just get over that? Like,
Yeah,
guys, nothing has changed since we were all born. It's
yeah,
just you have these very funny ideas about it that are
correct. Yeah.
frankly dangerous,
I
my
can't imagine being married to them. So we have to pray
ugh,
f we have to try to envision that too, and maybe
mhm,
make their make their spouses a little more assertive and,
yeah,
get them awake. Yeah.
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 Well, I think, if we had like I watched this thing today. I don't know why it came up in my YouTube feed. It was Barack Obama presenting Joe Biden with the Presidential Medal of Honor for lifetime achievement.
Yes.
And I couldn't watch the whole thing. I was getting ready for work, but the
Mhm.
first 5 to 7 minutes of it, what a lot of accomplishments he rattled off for Joe Biden. I mean, I have always loved Joe Biden. I think
Mhm. Yeah. I
gaffes and
me too.
all, he
Mhm.
is a real he's a good guy. He's just
He
a really
is.
good guy.
He is a good guy.
And
Yeah,
he's
he
so
really is.
smart and he hides it. He covers up his smartness with a little bit of that gaffing and, kind of
Mhm.
jokey,
Well, yeah,
kind
but he's just a regular guy too. I mean, he's very kind, but he isn't pretentious in any way.
of
So, yeah, no.
no,
Mhm.
he's
Mhm.
really not pretentious. He's really good.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
But I hope that I do hope that these guys will wake up and, come to the normal party, but um some
Yeah.
of these and I guess they're all Republicans. I mean, I can't think of any independents that are really goofy
Mhm.
that way,
Mhm.
but and I'm not saying that only Republicans are corrupt politicians.
Correct. There are some
I don't
others that
I
aren't.
know
Yeah.
that's not true, and
Like
I know
Manchin.
oh,
Yeah.
yeah, but
Yeah.
even if you look at anybody, if you scratch the surface of anybody's story that's in politics, especially in federal national politics,
Correct. Yeah.
they're gonna have a little something something in the closet.
They
They just
will.
are,
They
'cause
will. Yeah.
they don't make a fortune, they don't make a huge salary. They make a good salary. I
Yeah.
mean, it would be I'd be perfectly satisfied with that salary,
I
but
think I could be too. It would be
yeah,
really nice, you
yeah,
know?
right? And
Yep.
especially I could be very satisfied with the health care. Thank
Yes,
you very much. I
absolutely.
mean, I would love that, but
Mhm.
apparently when you're in that swampy thing, it's just too, tempting to
It
kinda
is that's the problem. You get a little bit of power, and it goes to your head, and, it's crazy. So, I don't know if you saw panned in on the State of the Union, Margie, and there was a man beside her, and there was a African American woman sitting sort of near her. I saw her talk today. Did you
Yes,
see that?
yeah, I
Did you
saw
see that?
I think I saw it yesterday.
Yeah,
Clip of
yeah,
her. Hilarious.
she
This woman
was.
was
Yeah.
she oh, man,
She
she
was
has a
trying really hard to treat her just like not let her bother her at all,
buzz,
and
yeah.
yet and then but what was really surprising was that Margie's making kind of what did she say? Something about 1960. Oh, that lady, the lady that was, in the march in Selma or,
Yeah,
across the Edmund Pettus Bridge. That was 1965? Oh my goodness, Margie said, and she said, "Hell yeah," She said, we haven't had this for very long, you know." Margie's just totally lost. She has no idea
yeah,
about
she's
it. They
yeah.
they all don't. And don't you think if they had to take a test, that it would be a much better scenario for them to be in Congress and in the Senate if they know more about what the history was instead of what they
Yeah,
think
I
it is?
I think
Yeah,
they should bring back some kind of a,
I agree.
um I mean, would it be too outlandish to ask them to take the citizenship test?
No,
Would that be a good place to start?
it would be
And
a good place to start, I
And then
think.
maybe
Yeah.
a little civics test on top
Uh-huh.
of that, because I
Yep.
know in the one of the things that I am very grateful for is ever since, Mr. T came down the stupid elevator, this country, well, a lot of this country, not 100%, has been really trying to learn first civics and history, and then
Yes.
history about our civics and government, which is
Correct.
so wonderful. Because
Oh, yeah,
I
it
know
needed to
a
be
lot of
done.
things I forgot from school, or maybe I never learned them, maybe I was asleep at the wheel, who knows? But I
Well,
I
you were
like that
younger.
stuff. I really
Yeah,
like it.
uh-huh.
I'm gonna
I
say
do
hello
too.
to everybody in general.
Yes.
Hello to
Hi,
everybody
everyone. Thanks for being
in
here with us today.
general.
Yeah. Sherry's pitch hitting for me over on Sisters, so I thank you for being here. Yeah. Yeah. It's a
Yeah,
joy to be here with Colleen. I'm not with her all the time, and you know what's really interesting, Colleen? We're trying to balance out the way these politicians are, and we're both Libras.
yeah, I know. I was just gonna say something about that you and I have so much in common in our
Yeah.
backgrounds. We're both Libras, we both have Capricorn rising,
Yeah.
and, I think our moons are different. My moon's in Virgo, your moon's in another mutable
In
sign?
Pisces.
Pisces,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
Pisces, yeah, both
Yeah.
mutable
Like
signs.
your daughters. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I
Mhm.
have another friend who's in the coven who's just about 30 years younger than me. So she hit her Saturn return when I hit my second Saturn return, and she's
Wow.
also a Libra Capricorn with a mutable moon. It was like
Oh my
funny.
goodness, that's
Yeah,
we do draw it to each other. A lot of us draw like that moth to a flame, you know?
yeah,
It's
and
interesting.
don't
Yeah.
tell anybody, but they're my favorite people. You know, I just love them because
Oh, and Pia says she's a Libra too. All
oh,
right,
there
Pia.
you
There
go.
you
You're in the right
go.
place. You're in the right
And
place.
Sonia is a Libra
Oh
rising.
gosh.
All right.
Oh,
That's
we're
awesome.
such good company, such good
Yes,
company.
absolutely.
But, it's funny when we are trying to get people to, as they said, lower the temperature and
Mhm,
just talk as if they're your good neighbor. Not just your
mhm.
neighbor, but your good neighbor.
Right.
Because if you say
Yeah,
your kids, your spouse, or whatever, people are like, ah,
right.
But
Well, it's even like Joe joking with Lindsey Graham, during the and making Pete laugh, and he that's Joe's always been like that. He was always one that could bring people together, and I really was surprised, but not surprised that he was able to negotiate with, the Oklahoma senator and
that's
come up
right.
with a plan, and that's like the most conservative person in the world,
That's right.
that guy.
Right.
So, you
Yeah.
know that he can do it. It's the others that can't. It's
Yeah.
this something about a belief in weakness. If people are nice to each other, then you must be weak. That's what I'm seeing
And that is
because
just
yeah,
so
isn't
mis
it ridiculous?
it's
Yeah,
180 degrees wrong. It is not
correct, Correct.
No,
Yeah.
it's like when men are very, very confident, they have
Mm.
no need to put a woman down. They have no need to
Correct.
build themselves up by putting anybody down.
Anybody down. Right.
And it's
Uh-huh.
just but I really notice it with men specifically because women, even if their instinct would be to put somebody down, are so trained not to do that, that
Correct.
even
Most of us
women who
can't.
would normally do it don't do it, like, in
That's right.
business settings I'm talking
In
about, but
business, right.
yeah,
Yep.
mainly. Um,
Yeah.
but, we were just talking backstage, everybody, about I don't think I said this on camera, the speech with Barack Obama giving Joe Biden the Presidential Medal of Honor. We didn't do that on camera, right?
You did say it. You
Oh,
just
we
said
did.
it.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay, so
you did.
anyway,
But
okay,
that's
I
okay.
won't.
I do that all the time.
Who knows? My life is just,
Yeah.
flowing in and out all the time.
Yes, yes, absolutely. And it's all right. But he's always like it does say he's always been like that. And her, when her said in his statement that Joe Biden couldn't remember when his son died, that was a lie.
Yeah.
And all of that stuff in there is a lie.
Yes.
Yeah, he
Yes.
remembered exactly when it was. He didn't remember the year, but it was because all that time has gone by, 9 years have gone by, and he can't believe that, and that's a father remembering, you know,
And
remembering the moment.
just to point out how damaging it was that her wrote that report that was just the antithesis of what the actual evidence was.
Right.
Even Kamala Harris bought into it and made an excuse for why Joe might forget the date.
Really?
Yeah, because
I'm
she had said
surprised. Okay.
initially, she had
Mhm.
said, "Look, this interview took place, I don't know if it was within
Like the
days
8th
or
of October.
hours of."
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, the day after the
Yeah.
attack, on,
Mhm.
from Gaza, or on Israel, whatever it was, but,
Mhm. Mhm. Yep.
she made an excuse for him, trying to defend him when we come to find out that he really doesn't need
He
any
doesn't. No,
defense
he
because
doesn't.
he did
Yeah.
remember the day,
Mhm.
the date, and the year.
Correct.
So
He did.
her
Yeah.
just has just mud
And
all over it.
it's hard to believe also that the Republicans would keep asking him, "Oh, so you believe he's senile?" It's like he's not a doctor anyway. He,
Yeah,
he can't make a diagnosis.
yeah,
So, just the
yeah.
ridiculousness of all the.
It's
But
just
if
so
we got
crude.
people that were really much kinder to each other, you're right. It would change the whole dynamic, Colleen,
Yeah,
and
so
we could
her is
actually.
and
Mhm.
her is a great example of what we're gonna be talking about tonight.
Yeah.
So, what I would like to talk about tonight, and what I would like to visualize with everybody who's here in the chat tonight, is
Mhm.
what would the world be like if our politicians were not corrupt? If they actually had a pure heart, if they were really using all of their skills and experience and talent for good
Mhm.
and to
For
help
good.
not just their constituents, but everybody.
Right.
What would that be like if we had a Marjorie Taylor Greene, who instead of being kind of a, second in command cult leader, was a real honest to goodness congressperson who was happy about that infrastructure bill that went through and is building all new roads and bridges and stuff, probably a lot in her
In
area
her area, sure.
because
Yeah.
it's a poor area. Um,
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
you know, and that's another thing. She is supposedly very wealthy, and yet she's a congressperson from a very poor rural area. How does that work?
Out of touch. Out of touch. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Mhm.
Or Jim Comer, like what would it be like if he wasn't whining all the time about Hunter Biden's laptop and Joe Biden's impeachment?
Right,
What would the
right.
world feel like if we just got rid of that? If that just
Yes.
wasn't happening? I mean, we could go down the list and name, probably 25 people off the top of our head that are just terrible in that regard. And then when it comes to the voting in Congress, they obstreperate. They just do it just to be
Yeah,
obstructionist.
just to be abstract. Well, the recent, stepping down of, Buck of Colorado, I've heard him
Oh,
speak. He's leaving at the end of the week, and
yeah.
he said he wants to devote his time to good things to make things change. So I think it's happening, like Liz Cheney. I think
Mhm.
it's happening, but it's just not. It's just at a very low level right now. But it can be done. I think it
Well,
can
and
be.
with her
Yeah.
stepping down, that means they only have a one-seat majority.
I thought it was four. No, it's one. Okay.
It's
Oh,
1,
okay.
I think,
Okay.
because I think they have 2 people who are out sick kind of indefinitely.
Oh,
So
oh, oh, okay.
so that's the other 2.
Okay.
So
Wow.
they're, like, not in there, and then I heard about some other story of some other Republicans that I'm telling you, it's
Mhm.
my wish come true, 'cause I said last summer, "Look, I see a time when the Speaker of the House is a Democrat and they still have a slight majority in the House, or before the election, so many Republicans end up leaving either from indictments or because they get fed up, that
Yeah.
there will be a Democratic majority before the November election, and then
Mhm.
Hakeem will get in."
Yes, you will.
I've been saying that for, like, 8 months, and I'm just like, "Do, do, do, what time is it? When is
TikTok.
Hakeem gonna be the speaker? Because I can feel that he's gonna be the speaker.
Yeah.
I just
He's
know
such a
that
nice to talk about another nice man. He's just a nice man.
he's a
He
very
is.
nice man.
Yeah. Mhm.
I'm filming, or I filmed, a s a video that I'm editing about, I did charts on a whole bunch of different politicians, and the charts for Hakeem Jeffries and Adam Schiff and Eric Swalwell, I'm just like, "Wow, these guys are what we need. This is what we need in politics, because they 'cause they're like white knights, like, they're just not
Yeah,
gonna stop until
that's
they
right.
see that things are right. They just
That's
really
right.
wanna keep it going." Also, Hakeem Jeffries has some really cool stuff coming up for the eclipse, so he
Oh,
might get in
cool.
as speaker right around then. I mean, he's
Wow,
got some
wouldn't that be
kudos,
nice?
some benefits coming to him, some boosts.
Okay.
So we're
Alright.
gonna think about, the people in Congress, and for everybody in the chat, if you're gonna participate in the visualization with us, and I really hope you do. Oh, good, Wiki's here, yay. Oh, wait, that's on your channel. All
Mhm.
these great things. Oh, all the moderators, of course, are on your channel. I don't think I have anybody on my channel, but I have
Um,
moderators. They just don't happen to be here. Okay,
mhm,
that's all right. I think we'll be okay. Um, so what we're gonna do is I'd like everybody to just kind of visualize Congress and
mhm,
visualize those people that you usually don't wanna see. The MAGAs especially. Um,
mhm.
and, you could throw in Joe Manchin if anybody has a real bone to pick with him. You could throw him in. I mean,
Uh-huh.
Kirsten Sinema's leaving, so who cares about her? And just think about it. It doesn't have to be just House of Representatives. It could be senators too. But
Or it
just
could be people like Carrie Lake who we would be a
yes,
we
yes.
could get her to yeah.
Any sort of nationally visible politician that comes to your mind, and you're going to imagine them being different. And
Okay.
I'll give you
Mm,
plenty of time in the visualization to really think about this. So it's okay, so it's 7:20. I think we're going to go ahead and start
yeah,
with the I was going to say the meltdown, with the
a
relax.
Milton.
We're going to start with the meltdown.
Yeah,
So everybody get
absolutely.
comfortable, and I'm going to
Mhm.
turn on my music here, and we're going to start
Mm,
having some nice relaxing times, and then I'll bring in the visualization of the people in politics, and we'll work on getting them to a point where things are really, really good. Okay.
good.
So how's my music? Too loud, too soft?
Sounds nice.
Okay, good. All
Yeah.
right, everybody. So just get into a nice settled position. Work all the little widgets out. If you feel like you need to wiggle your toes or your neck or your shoulders or whatever, go ahead and do that while I'm talking about breathing. And you're going to take a slow, gentle breath in through the nose and blow it out through your mouth. And in through your nose and out through your mouth. And in through the nose and out through the mouth. And now I'd like you to imagine that all around your body you have a beautiful white light. It can be in a sphere, it can go right around the shape of your body, it can be a pyramid of white light,
Mhm.
it could be a cube of white light, it could be any shape that you want it to be. And this white light is somewhat translucent, and this is a protective light. And this light will stay with you through the whole visualization. And what I'm hoping with this visualization and this white light is that it will allow you to relax. Keep breathing gently in through your nose. And if it's comfortable, blow it out through your mouth. And at some point, if that's no longer comfortable, just breathe normally in through your nose and out through your nose. The idea here is to just feel very relaxed and at peace. And now I'd like you to imagine that coming down from the heavens is a silver cord. And this silver cord, as it gets closer to you, actually is just a river of energy, a river of silver energy that's going to go into your crown chakra and fill up your whole skull. And that white cord is going to continue down through your neck, down through the middle of your torso. And as it's hitting these points in your body just lights up and becomes nice and warm and relaxed. It's as if this silver cord just kind of expands all the cells in your body. And it continues on down through your pelvis, down through your legs, and into the earth. And this beautiful silver energy is going to keep you grounded to the earth for our visualization. And now just scan your body from your feet up through the top of your head and anywhere where you might be feeling a little tension, a little coolness, a little stiffness. Just allow that white silvery light to expand into that space in your body, warm it up just a little bit, and allow you to be very, very relaxed. And now I want you to visualize in your mind the person that you chose before we began. This could be any politician that comes to mind that you think could benefit from being more positive, being more loving, being more truthful, being more fair, being more open-minded, and just being a person who's working for the will of the people. So find your person wherever they work. Could be a courthouse, it could be in Congress, it could be in the Senate, wherever they are. Just imagine that the next act that they do is to smile and turn to the person next to them and extend their hand. And as they extend their hand, the person next to them takes their hand and they shake hands. They might even join their other hand to their conjoined hands. And they're really smiling at one another. They're really happy with what's going on. And then that exchange comes to an end. And they turn the other way. And they extend their hand to the person on their other side. And that person takes their hand. And they're smiling. And this time, with their other hands, they might even reach up and touch the other person on the shoulder. So they're really connecting. And they're smiling at one another. And as you're watching this, it makes you feel good too. And you're sending love to them, to all the politicians in that room, including your personal subject. You're sending love to them and they're accepting it. And obviously, it's affecting them, and they are able to extend their love and light and joy to the people around them. And now your body floats up to the top of the room that you're watching them in. And you can see the whole room now. You can see everybody in the room, all of these politicians, and they're all smiling and they're all shaking hands. And now they start laughing, and the energy just raises up, and now there's laughter filling the room. And then we see someone at the front of the room writing something on a piece of paper. And they finish, and they hold up the paper and they say, "And the bill is passed, and it's going to help everybody." And they all break out into a big cheer. And they all start laughing again. Some of them begin to hug each other. They're so happy. They're so relieved to be passing a bill, to be making laws that really help people. And we allow this to go on for a little while. And we enjoy it. And they enjoy it. And now we can come back down into the same level that all of the politicians are at. We're sort of among them at this point. And we can look around and we can see them. And they're still shaking hands and laughing and enjoying being with one another. And they're saying, "Good job. Good job. Doesn't this feel great? We're going to come back here tomorrow and do this all over again. This is wonderful. I love my job. I love helping people. I love passing bills that help people." And you float back up to the top of the building again, slowly, because you really don't want to leave this extraordinary scene. And as you float, you go out of the building and you come back to the room that you're sitting in, and you imagine, wow, what if I could help with that? I'm going to do this again. I'm going to visualize this again, and I'm going to pick somebody new, and I'm going to watch them pass bills. And it's going to make everybody really happy. And it makes me feel happy. And as you're thinking this, you find yourself back in your chair, feeling so relaxed and at peace, and so happy because we've passed a bill that's going to help everybody. We helped them do that. We sent love to them. They accepted that love. And then they made their political magic happen. It was like magic. And then let yourself focus on your feet and that beautiful white light that's coming up from the earth and the beautiful light that's around your body. And you say, yes, it is done. Just take a few minutes to come back to the room where you're in. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes.
Just a massive amount of white doves floating out of the Capitol
Oh,
building.
beautiful. Oh, that's great. That's
It's
great.
wonderful.
And as
Yeah.
Elle Woods would say, we did it.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. That's wow.
oh, that's great. Wow. Well, thank you, everybody. Thanks for being with me. Thanks for
Mhm,
playing with me and Allie. That
mhm.
was not the visualization I planned for this. I had a completely different thing planned, but this is what came out. This
That's
is the
okay. It was
moment.
beautiful, Colleen. It was
Uh,
very nice.
Thank
Yes, it
you.
was.
And I
Yeah.
forgot to put up the little picture that I usually show, so we'll do that next time. Oh, oh, oil painter, that's very sweet of you. That's very
Yes.
sweet of you. But
Yeah.
wouldn't that be cool? And you should do this one over and over and over again, especially
Yeah.
when you're feeling like there's nothing I can do and these people are just idiots and why don't they listen to us and why can't they change the gun laws? They can.
Mhm,
They can. We
mhm.
just have to instruct them a little magically.
Next time we can work on, Texas.
Oh,
That whole
yeah,
city
I think Texas could deserves really its own
its
visualization,
own
right?
visualization.
Oh, that's great. I'm
Absolutely.
gonna do that.
Yeah.
We'll do that in it's the 13th. We can do that in 2 weeks. That's great.
Mhm.
Oh,
Wow.
that's great. I'm just
Oh,
making a
yes,
note.
Ness. I do know that it's, future I had read a book called Future Memory,
Hmm.
and it was fabulous, and yeah, it's us, um, actually knowing our it's not déjà vu that we've done it before, but it's déjà tu. I don't know. It's like moving
Whatever
forward.
the future, yeah, the future is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
I think it's so important that, we have all of these feelings, we have all of this emotion around a lot of this political mess in particular. And where do you put all that emotion? It isn't enough just to complain or get angry or make fun of people or, that isn't
okay.
as, I mean, it's good to blow off steam.
Yeah,
That's good
yeah.
for everybody physically and mentally and
Mhm.
spiritually probably, but the thing that is really important is to know that you have power. You have the power to make things happen, and
Yeah, yeah.
we should
And
we
I
should
was
use
just
that
thinking
power.
today how stressed, that, we don't realize we are,
Yes,
because this goes on and on and on, and there's no seemingly end to it. And so putting out something positive like this is a fabulous idea, Colleen. It's real
yeah,
it's important, and it makes us feel like we're doing something for that
yes.
toward that end.
Exactly, exactly. So you don't feel helpless. You're not
Yes.
a victim. You're
Right.
not just the little guy being steamrolled by the big guy. You're
Uh-huh.
actually harnessing the power of many, many souls. And
Right.
then, and on the replays, even more souls. And all of those people, all of their power can make
Mhm.
things happen. That's
It can.
they did this
Mhm.
kind of work in World War II to affect the
Mhm.
war in Europe, and it worked. They won.
Mhm. Mhm. The other thing we need to do is, Putin's saying that he's planning on using nuclear weapons, and so we need to And I'm not as worried because I know the ETs are working to not have that happen, to just, diffuse it.
Yeah,
But, if we want to just, make sure we do that over the Duma and over, his area, then that might be
yeah,
important for us too. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I think so. I think anything that gives him hope keeps him going, even if it's hate.
Yes.
He's
Oh, I
hopeful
agree.
in his hate. So
Yeah.
somebody made a comment about the solar eclipse. It's not just
Uh-huh.
Texas. There's a if you go online, I think you can just Google like eclipse 2024, and they'll show you the path of totality. I'm going to Watertown, New York, to see it, which
Okay.
is not far from like Niagara Falls. That's
Right.
that's a one destination, but it goes down the country in like it starts like up around Vermont and everything, and then it goes down in it's about 100-mile swath, and it
Yeah.
just goes all the way down, and it goes into Texas, and then it pretty much goes into the ocean, and then it probably picks up in the Central Americas and everything, but then it
Yeah.
doesn't go on to South America because it's going the other direction.
Right.
But
But
yeah,
the other one was the other way. So this is
yeah,
like an X. This is an
yeah.
X. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what happens.
Amazing.
That's what happens, yeah. Because,
Mhm.
it depends on which node of the moon they're going on, it changes the
Mhm.
direction, so very
Mhm.
interesting. Yeah,
Mhm.
I'm very excited to go see the eclipse.
Oh, I bet you are. I saw it in 17. I was out in on a ship out for heading toward Puerto
Ooh.
Rico, and it was
Oh,
quite a different situation, but it
wow.
was it was amazing. Yeah, it was really
Yeah, I
amazing.
saw the one in 17 also in August, right? August of
Yes,
2017. Yeah,
August of
I saw that
17.
one too. It was
Uh-huh.
situated over New Jersey. We just all went out on our at lunch. We took a late lunch and we all went out in the parking lot.
Uh-huh.
Of course,
Well,
most
I
people
hope
didn't
you
have
had something
glasses.
on.
Well, I
You didn't.
did, but most people didn't. And this time I have sent away for my Eclipse
Yeah,
kits. And I
good. Hmm.
I have glasses for everybody that's going. And I have
Hmm.
little books that tells us all about the eclipse. And I've
Yeah.
done a couple videos about the eclipse because I got so excited about this one because it's going to be such a big one. So
Uh-huh.
I did
Good.
an eclipse video that's actually I go through the astronomy part of it.
Oh,
how does
cool.
the eclipse really happen and what's going on with it? And then I did a couple of videos about, the individual eclipses because they're full moons and new moons. So I did
Mhm.
those too. Yeah. Yeah, I'm
Mhm.
very excited. I did the whole thing with the political people and the royal family. How's the eclipse going to hit them? And
Oh, cool.
I'm
That would be
very into the
interesting.
eclipse this
Yeah.
year. Lots of
Yeah.
eclipse stuff, lots of
That's
action.
that's
So,
awesome. Yeah.
well, thank you so much for joining me. I'm
Mm.
going to invite you back. You know that.
Sure.
And I know
Anytime.
Wednesday is a tough night for you, so I'll understand
Yeah.
if you can't make it for a while.
Yeah.
But thank you, everyone in the chat.
Yeah.
Thank you
Thank
for
you,
for
everyone.
indulging me. And
Mhm.
at some point when we do this, we're going to have just hundreds, maybe thousands of people in the chat going, "Yes, let's do this visualization."
Yes, absolutely. And it will, Colleen. It will build up. I just know it because there's so many light workers that are showing their light now and coming to this place. And so we are look at when you and I started a couple of years, 3 years ago,
Yep,
uh, we had very small, and now
very
we really
small.
have a great group of people that are here. So that's
Yeah,
great.
it's really
Thank
great.
you.
And things keep changing and
Yep.
morphing, and we keep doing our
Yep.
thing. All
That's it.
right. Well, everybody,
Excellent.
that's it for me. I love to keep
Mhm.
these things less than 45 minutes. It feel like I have a night off when I when it's that
Oh, there
short.
you go. Good for you.
It's great. So
That's
take
awesome.
care. Mwah. Many, many blessings to all of you. And again, thank you, thank you, thank you. Please share this to your friends. Make sure you talk it up because it's so important that we help move the energy in this direction.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thanks,
Take
Colleen.
care.
Bye,
Yeah.
everybody. Thank
Take
you for
care.
being here.
Yep. I'm going to try my little video again. I don't know if it'll work. We'll try it.
Okay.
That and then